Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to revise the concept of nutrition, and first we are going to study about nutrition in amoeba. Okay, nutrition in amoeba means we are going to study about nutrition in single-celled organisms. Okay, so nutrition in amoeba, how it takes place. First of all, you should know that amoeba is a unicellular animal and it eats tiny microscopic plants and animal foods. Microscopic means which are smaller than amoeba also, and they float in water because amoeba is aquatic. Okay, so the mode of nutrition that amoeba shows is holozoic mode of nutrition. Okay, holozoic nutrition. What is holozoic? Holozoic mode of nutrition is the nutrition in which 5 steps are there: ingestion, then digestion, then absorption, assimilation, and egestion. These are the 5 ways or 5 steps of holozoic nutrition. Okay, what happens in ingestion? The food, as you can see in the diagram, what actually happens? It is a single-celled organism and it is irregular in shape. Okay, so with the help of cytoplasmic elongations, and due to the flexibility of the plasma membrane or the cell membrane, what happens? There is a finger-like or cup-like projections formed in the membrane of the amoeba, and they form cup-like structure, or they make finger-like projections, and we call them pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, pod means legs or foot. Okay, so they are false feet. That's why we call them pseudopodia. Okay, so pseudopodia are formed and they keep on encircling the food particle. Fine. Then ingestion is the mode in which, or is the process in which amoeba is procuring its food by taking in. Okay, so ingestion. After that comes digestion. What happens in digestion? The food is taken in, the finger-like projections or pseudopodia that were formed, they completely make it captured and in the form of food vacuole. This is called food vacuole. Okay, the food is trapped. Now what happens? How digestion takes place? The enzymes which are present in the cytoplasm are sent to the food vacuole. And what is the work of the enzymes then? These enzymes, they break down the food into the food vacuole. So what is this process known as? It is called digestion. Okay, food is being broken down from complex to simpler forms. So digestion takes place here. Then comes the next step, that is absorption. In absorption, what will happen? The food particles that were broken down in the food vacuole are being absorbed into the into the cytoplasm of the amoeba. As a result, this is being absorbed in the cytoplasm. So this process is called absorption. Then next comes assimilation. What happens in assimilation? The nutrients that were sent into the cytoplasm now helps the organism grow. Okay, so that it can be used in life processes and all other activities. So it helps the growth of the organism, and this is known as assimilation. Assimilation. Fine. Then last one is that whatever was the left over substances that were left into this food vacuole will be taken to the periphery of the cell membrane and it will get burst open, and the waste material is expelled out. So this method is called, this step is called egestion. So how many steps are there? In holozoic nutrition, there are 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. So it is an important question. In 2 marks, in 3 marks, it can be asked anyhow. So you have to label the diagrams properly and then you have to explain it also. Now, when this Holozoic mode of nutrition takes place, the process of obtaining food by the amoeba is called phagocytosis. Phagocytosis. Amoeba ingests food by using pseudopodia or the false feet, and these are finger-like projections which helps in taking in the food. Now food is engulfed with a little bit surrounding of water because it is aquatic in nature, so it forms a food vacuole inside the amoeba. Okay, so you need to learn all the steps and then you can write it easily. Okay, now we will start with the nutrition in humans. How does nutrition in human beings takes place? For understanding nutrition in humans, we have to understand the digestive system in human beings. And digestive system in humans includes alimentary canal, and digestive glands. Okay, so first of all we will discuss about the key points of the alimentary canal. Now alimentary canal begins with mouth and ends with anus. So what is the starting point? It is mouth, and the ending point, it terminates into anus. Okay, now it is a muscular coiled tube-like structure or tubular structure which is about 9 meters in length. How much in length? 9 meters. And the various organs that makes the alimentary canal are that it starts from mouth and ends in anus. So what are the different organs which are present in between? So let us see. Mouth, it is the opening, okay. Then it leads to a tubular structure called esophagus. Esophagus, O-E-S-O-P-H-A-G-U-S. Esophagus, or also we call it food pipe. Then it leads to stomach, and then stomach opens into small intestine. Okay, then small intestine, it consists of 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Okay, so I write here duodenum, second one is jejunum, and third one is ileum. Okay, now this small intestine, it opens into or it leads to large intestine, and large intestine is made up of again 3 parts. And what are the 3 parts? It contains cecum, C-A-E-C-U-M, then colon and rectum. Colon and rectum. Okay, and after this, where the rectum opens into anus. So this is how the alimentary canal organ are following. Now what happens? The mouth, it is a bordered buccal cavity. It is a buccal cavity which is bordered by lips. Okay, and it contains, mouth contains what? Upper jaw and lower jaw. And you know very well, in your earlier classes you have read about it. This jaw consists of various types of teeth. And what are the teeth that are present in the, I hope this is clear to everyone. So mouth contains buccal cavity, and there are 4 types of teeth. Mouth, we are talking about now mouth. It contains buccal cavity, various organs that are present in the mouth. They are buccal cavity, then jaw, then what? Salivary glands, and one more very important thing, that is tongue. Okay, another thing very important is tongue. Now buccal cavity. What is buccal cavity? Buccal cavity is the opening which is outlined by lower jaw and upper jaw. Okay, and the upper jaw has upper palate, which is the roof of the mouth, which is making partition between the nasal cavity and the jaw or the mouth. Okay, buccal cavity. Now in this what happens? Jaw contains teeth. It contains teeth. How many types of teeth are there? There are 4 types of teeth. And what are the 4 types? They are canine, incisors, biting teeth, canines, tearing teeth, then premolars and molars. Okay, then there is these teeth. What they do? See, in human beings there are 2 sets of teeth. One is called milk teeth or deciduous teeth, and how many they are? That set is known as deciduous teeth or milk teeth, because they fall down and then new permanent set of teeth comes. Okay, so how many in number they are? Incisors are 4 in number, then canines are 2 in number in one jaw. Premolars, they are 4, and what about molars? Molars are 6 in number. Okay, incisors, they help in biting the food, canines in tearing the food, molars in grinding the food, and premolars also. Okay, so this is how the teeth work. Then comes tongue. First I'll discuss about tongue. Tongue is a fleshy organ, okay, which is sensory organ also. Fleshy sensory organ, and it bears taste buds. Okay, taste buds are present, and these taste buds help in tasting the food. Fine. And not only this, tongue has taste buds, helps in tasting the food, then it also helps in mixing the food with saliva. Fine. Now, and swallowing of the food. What is the another word? Swallowing. Means pushes the food down to the esophagus. Swallowing of food. Okay. So, this is how you can learn. Mouth has buccal cavity, jaw, glands, salivary glands, and tongue. Now, in buccal cavity, what is it? Is opening, which is bound by upper jaw and the lower jaw. Okay, upper jaw is having palate, upper palate, and it helps in partitioning the nasal cavity and oral cavity. Then jaw, how many teeth they have? They contain teeth, and these teeth are either 4 types. Incisors, which are 4 in number, and they help in biting the food. Canines, tearing teeth, which are 2 in number in one jaw. Then 4 premolars and 6 molars. So let us now continue about the tongue. Tongue contains taste buds. And how many taste buds are there? See, this is the structure of tongue. These are the various zones where the food can be tasted. Okay, taste buds are there. Sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. Okay, these are the taste buds which are present in the tongue. They are having the various buds, bud-like structure, papillae we call them, and they help in tasting the food. Okay, so these are the various zones present in the tongue for tasting the food. Then comes that after this where the food goes, what happens all in the mouth, and where does the food go later on. See, teeth help in chewing the food, and the act of chewing food is called mastication. Act of chewing the food, mastication. Now after this, what happens? Tongue helps in chewed food mixing with the saliva. Okay, and then it is pushed down to the esophagus. Fine. Now buccal cavity, after this buccal cavity opens into pharynx. Buccal cavity opens into pharynx. Now what is pharynx? Pharynx is the common passage of food and air. Common passage of food and air. Okay, and it is guarded. It's a tube-like structure which is further continued in larynx and trachea. Okay, food pipe, the food continues into the food pipe, and the another opening is larynx and trachea. Now esophagus, we will discuss about esophagus. Esophagus is a long tubular structure. This opens into esophagus. Esophagus is a long tubular structure. See, this is only the part where no digestion of food takes place. Okay, takes place. And the first organ of alimentary canal where the food is digested is mouth. In mouth, salivary glands, they secrete enzymes which helps in digestion of carbohydrate. Okay, so you might have ever felt also, you might have done this also, a childish act, like we keep on chewing chapati, which is plain chapati, not flavored one, or plain bread. Then after some, or you may take like rice also, the boiled rice. Okay, if you keep on chewing them, after some time you are going to feel like as if they are sweet, little bit sweetened. Why it happened? Because carbohydrate got digested over there and it got converted into the simpler or the nutrients called sugars. That's why we feel like as if it is sweet, because carbohydrates are converted into sugars. So the food enters into esophagus. Esophagus is a tubular structure which helps in passing the food, or it connects what? Buccal cavity or mouth to the stomach. And this is only the organ where no digestion takes place. Okay, it is a muscular tube-like structure, and in this there are wave-like movements occur, which is called peristaltis. Peristaltis. Okay, how? See, the food is pushed. So, like this, the wave-like movements are generated into the esophagus. So what it will do? These are constrictions and relaxation. Okay, expansion. So when the constriction is there, the food is squeezed and it falls down. Then it gets opened. Then again it again squeezes the food, or it contracts. Then again the food is being pushed. In this way, the food will be pushed to the stomach. Okay. When it reaches to stomach, over there, what happens? In the inner wall of the stomach, there are gastric glands which helps in releasing the enzymes. And these enzymes, what they will do? In stomach, what will happen now? Once the food enters into the stomach, then food is acted upon, or I should say like this, stomach has gastric juice or gastric glands, okay, and it is a J-shaped muscular organ, highly muscular organ. Gastric glands, what do? They have their important role. Besides this, what happens to the food when it enters into the stomach? This muscular organs of the, muscular wall of the stomach, it helps in churning of food. Means the food is crushed. Okay, churning of food takes place, and besides that, gastric juice is released, which contains mucus. Then it contains HCl, and it also contains one enzyme called pepsin. Okay, mucus, what it does? It layers the inner wall of stomach so that the abrasive action of HCl does not affect the inner wall of the stomach. Now, HCl, what it is going to do? It will do few important actions. What? It is going to kill bacteria or microbes that has entered with the food. Okay, it also helps in activating protein digesting enzyme. Okay, protein digesting enzyme. And pepsin, what it does? This pepsin is activated with the help of HCl, and pepsin converts or digests proteins into amino acids. So I hope it is clear to everyone. So how the digestion takes place up to stomach we have learned today. So you need to revise this concept so that we can continue it tomorrow. Okay.